Starting. Excellent. Welcome to Sig Manual of the Primes at GauntletCon 2018. Uh, we have just started introducing the game, and I've gone through some of the rules with folks. But first, let's start introductions, and then I'll finish off the rules explanation. So my name is Jason Pitt, Genesis of Legend Publishing. I designed the game. I might be able to figure out how to run it. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll discover this together. Next up, on my screen, let's make that Shane. Hello.
Hello, I'm Shane. I am a Gauntlet GM and player. I have not played SIG yet. I own it. I have not had a chance to look through it too much, but I am totally excited about this, both because the game looks awesome and also all of these players are some of my favorite players in the whole wide world. So I'm looking forward to this.
Excellent. Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael. I am a Gauntlet Hangouts GM as well, and a professional underwater basket weaver. I use he, him, and I'm very pleased to be playing with all of you today.
Excellent. Thank you. And I was remiss. He, him.
He, him.
And Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I use she, her pronouns, and I am awake. And I'm also of the Gauntlet. I edit things for Gauntlet Codex. And I played this I feel really bad because I played this last year and I was super tired. And I told Jason, I was like, no, I'm gonna be awake this time. And I can promise you I'm awake. And attentive, I think. I'm very excited about this game.
Yeah, considering how many you've dealt with both sides of the nightmarish time zone challenge. So yeah, you must be dedicated. So you have a link to the Roll20 where you're already in it from last year. All right, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle. My pronouns are also he, him. I am a infrequent GM on the Gauntlet. I have published things in Codex, and I'm a frequent member of the Gauntlet Slack, so if you ever want to talk to me, just go there. I have run this game once using Gauntlet Hangouts, and so there is an AP if you ever want to check that out in the sort of back catalog. And I also played last year at GauntletCon, and was also in the game still. And I'm incredibly excited about this game and everybody in this game, and it's going to be wonderful. So yeah, let's go.
Fantastic. All right. So we just explained what talents were and attributes were. Now, at the bottom of your sample character, and I need to actually add Lauren so she can see things. Let's add Lauren onto here. So at the bottom left is your heritage. So for this character, that is feral, because this person is descended from Azal the Sharp and Gruth Bearkin. Those are the two parents for Kagura the Gentle. And they're both feral. Which means that Kagura is a beast person. All we know is they're a bestial hybrid with razor claws and an attitude. For all I know, they're a snake with claws. But they are a animal person of some variety. That is described more in the bio. In the middle, political faction. So Kagura is a member of the League of Exterminators, who has a duty to control the vermin and eliminate the pests. has a leverage to transport vermin and pests to anywhere they choose in the verse. Now, duty is a thing that you have to do. Leverage is a superpower that you get from your organization that you can use by spending 1 influence. On the right, Kagura is a worshiper of Kestrana the Harvester, who shows devotion by never refusing to offer hospitality to a guest. But if Kagura does refuse, well, that angers Kestrana, and she might be less willing to offer miracles or assistance in the future. And lastly, it has a ritual, the Hungry Petition, which bestows you with an abundance of food and drink from Kester's table. If you choose not to spend 1 influence, Rana will slay an innocent mortal nearby to sate her hunger. So, effectively, for folks who know PBTA games, you get a 7 to 9 result unless you are spending 1 influence to upgrade to a 10+ result.
So it's not literal, is what you're saying?
No, it is literal. It is you get the base version unless you upgrade. And for those in the studio audience, the reason why it's Kester and Rana is it's a dual aspect goddess of the harvest and of reaping. So Kester is the life affirming, positive, everything grows and there's abundance aspect, whereas the bone faced Rana is the reaper goddess aspect. So now that we've got that out of the way, at the bottom are a set of talents. Now, here's another example of why reusing the same character multiple times is a challenge, because there should only be 2 of those talents available. Delete. All right. So at the start, all of these player characters have 2 pre-made beliefs out of the 3. And you're going to, at the start of play, you're going to create your 3rd belief so that you can customize your character a bit. There's a family belief, which is related to how they feel about their family, their heritage, their culture. There's a political belief, which is related to how they think about politics and factions, etc. And there's a spiritual belief that is related to their religious perspectives and beliefs. So, for instance, Kagura the Gentle has a family belief that you can depend on family, and has a political belief that words never solve problems. There is no spiritual belief at this point, so this will have to be created by the player. So, with that out of the way, let's so folks can now see the belief sheet, which is showing all of the beliefs. And you'll note that the setting has its own beliefs. Now, SIG is always bound to 3 planes at any point in time. These are the eternal planes of existence, like the plane of fire, the plane of shadows, etc. And the planar tethers mean that huge gates open up within SIG and allow for the magic and the philosophy and the people from that eternal plane of existence to flow into Sig. So there is an entire section of the city called Tether Ward, which is where these tethers are, and they're effectively giant planar ports. So right now, the brass tether is hooked into the elemental plane of flame. Accordingly, the city gains the belief that passion is incorruptible. And it also impacts the city itself. So because of this, everything is made of fire. The buildings are made of solid fire, windows made of smoked glass. There's a lot of people writing. People can speak the Fireheart tongue. And everyone can understand smoke script. So the influence of fire is everywhere, and there's a ton of Firehearts and salamanders and fire giants wandering around. So the second one is the ideological plane of order. So Sig is right now a very logical and ordered and structured place. It moves like clockwork, and all the rules must be followed. Those flames always move in sequential and rhythmic patterns. Some of them will move according to irregular numbers. And so you'll get the occasional fire that moves along at 3.14156 levels of intensity. But there's an order and pattern behind everything. Also, it's very hard to break laws in Sig right now. Just saying. There's a lot of a sigillar from the plane of order, which are living tattoos that, bestow sentience upon the meat sacks wandering around, who clearly aren't sentient on their own. Yeah, so that's exciting. Third is it's connected to the conceptual plane of dreams. So everything is dreamlike and odd and sort of has a surreal quality. Accordingly, you get visions. Time is a little fuzzy. Yeah, so it is dreamlike and law-like, which means that everything runs off of dream logic, and you can't break dream logic. So one of the things with that is we also have a whole bunch of cubi, which are the folks that are beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, that's because cubi actually appear like what is most attractive to the person they're interacting with. So they're desperate for attraction, for connection with people. And there's a strong taboo against them building romantic relationships with each other. So there's a lot of complicated relationship dynamics going on there. Anyway, so they're flooding the city. And the relevant each of these planes has their own factions and powers that are also supercharged when the tether is in place. When you change one of your character's beliefs, these tethers change. So it's possible the plane of flame will be replaced by the plane of stone, and all the fires go out, and giant mountains emerge, and obsidian towers sprout up. It gets exciting, and then all the giants come rushing in, giants and dwarves and Zorn. So that is one of the reasons why you want to change your beliefs. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's go through and start assigning characters. So because we have 4 people, let's just use the first 4 characters. So these are Kagura the Gentle, Tanael Nightblade, Jard the Pious, and Jakath Veilborn. So is there so Kagura the Gentle, you already know. You've all seen, you all have access to them now. Tanael Nightblade is a political assassin from the Guild of Advocates, who is one of the Polari, which, for those of you who know the classic game Polaris, full of ice elves at the end of the world, it's them. So the political assassin with the Starlight Sword, who's an ice elf. Now, the next up is Yard the Pious, who is a evangelical matchmaker. That is to say, is a fire cleric who believes that no god is greatest and is effectively hooking folks up with their the deity best suited for them. Last but not least is Jakath Veilborn, who is a thing made of shifting black veils and shadows, who's strange even by SIG standards. And is a freelance portal smith. We also have 2 other characters which are available if people want. Which is Ulawa the what was the
Doctor?
title that Ulawa the I have too many screens open. Yeah, Ulawa the Doctor and Dessa the Shadow Broker. So Ulawa is a refugee from one of the mortal prime worlds, who thinks that Sig is an alien nightmare. And Dessa is a journalist, gnome, wandering around trying to find a scoop. So yeah. So does anyone have any preferences out of these characters?
Those are fucking good. How do you choose?
Yeah. Well, Lauren and I both played Jard the Pious last year, right? Is that correct? Yeah, we did. So I feel like I should give someone else the opportunity to play Jard.
How did you both play Jard last year?
Because there were 2 sessions.
Oh.
We were in 2 different sessions and we played the same character.
But like they
So-
were, I couldn't be more polar opposite characters. Like I tried to make a prostitute feel good, and we had a lot of sad feelings, and I figured what Kyle did.
There was a funeral involved. Yeah, lots of things happened. I'm up for playing Jakath Veilborn. That'll be the weird shadow thing. Sure.
All right. So let me.
Sorry.
All right, so let's set you up. So amusingly, I'm saying that it can be art edited by Jard the Pious because of how this works out.
I
Thanks,
will change my
Roll20.
name now.
Yeah. So yeah. So you should now have access to this. You'll want to change your belief. The last player put it on the character sheet, on the bio sheet. So you'll need to change that. All right. Next up, who wants another character? Who wants Jard? We have two people who should probably play. One of which should probably play Jard this time. Yard. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing my own character name.
It's fine.
So Shane or Michael, do either one of you want to play the evangelical matchmaker?
Do you have a strong feeling either way, Shane?
I am kind of leaning against, but if you feel strongly about somebody else, super strongly about somebody else, I can do it.
I'll take Yard then.
Excellent. I'll set Michael up with Yard.
Maybe I'll split the difference and I'll comfort a prostitute at their family member's
funeral.
wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make my GauntletCon.
I'd be leaning towards Tanael.
Okay.
If that's okay with Lauren.
Yeah, we just went down the list. I was like, oh, I could be Jakarth, I could be Tanael, but I could be Kagura as well.
All right, Michael, you're set up. So Tanael going once, going twice. So I'll put Tanael for Shane. And Jason Cordova was playing Tanael last time. So all right. So I think so. Lauren, are you going with Kagra?
Yes, that sounds good. I don't have a character concept in mind, but this is going to be fine.
All right. So
I'm open to switching if that is going to make things better this early in the morning.
No, it's totally cool. I want to see your folk.
Okay, let's make it happen.
All right, so everyone should now have access to their characters. If you have 3 beliefs, you can see the belief sheet. So anything that's not on there, you just delete, and then we'll make new beliefs now. So I'll give you a minute to read over your character bio and then read out the italicized text to everyone, starting with Kagra.
So which bit am I reading?
So on the character bio.
Oh, yes.
The italicized text up top.
Excellent. Cool, I see it. My name is Kagra the Gentle. I am a feral, one of the beast folk descended from the plane of freedom. Family matters in the city between, but I come from a particularly large one, and mine is everywhere. I have sisters, cousins, and uncles throughout the hive, each of which have different bestial features. I grew up defending my kin from the vermin and wandering monsters who crawl through breeding warrens. Someone had to put meat on the table after all. I believe that you can depend on family. I also believe that words never solve problems. I'm gonna be mean as fuck. I hope everyone is ready for me being very severe.
Fantastic. All right, 10 AL.
All right. My name is Snail Nightblade, and I kill people for a living. I'm one of the political assassins working for the Guild of Advocates, which means that the various political factions of SIG hire me to off each other. Every faction in the city has their own selfish goals and petty grudges, and I'm the solution to all of their problems if they have the coin to spare. Faction politics are messy business. I believe that politics are cruel. I also believe honor has no price.
Fantastic. Yard.
My name is Yard the Pious, a priest in the city of devils. This city is filled with divine and infernal powers, from the ancient primordials who make the verse tremble to the smallest household gods. Each of them has their servitors, both within and beyond the city between. We priests act as intercessors with the powers, spreading their messages and doing them favors in exchange for some divine blessings. There's never a boring day, though. I believe that every path is unique. I also believe that no god is greatest. I also believe that passion deceives the heart.
So the last one is the one to delete, and you get to create your own.
I don't know how I feel about passion.
Fantastic. And Jakath.
My name is Jakath Veilborn, and I study the verse. I'm a thing of shifting black veils, whose mother was never seen, and whose gifts are strange even by Sig's standards. My unusual origins drove me to study planar cosmology and become a portal smith. I have studied the forbidden secrets hidden on the conceptual plane of lore. I have spoken with wise women from dozens of prime worlds. I have walked the hidden paths of the verse. I believe that knowledge is a gateway. I also believe that magic cannot be controlled. Oh, wait, I think that was the third belief. So I think it's love is for the weak is the other one I have.
Yeah. So, love is for the weak is the one to delete.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will copy paste the other one. So love is for the weak is open. And then I have magic cannot be controlled. Okay.
So, So right now, on Roll20, it's showing the belief sheet. And that is the authoritative list. And then we'll write in the new ones. So let's create beliefs. So beliefs are always subjective, controversial declarations. So a good rule of thumb is if you said this in the wrong bar somewhere in the world, you would start a fight. They all follow this sort of similar structure. It's a similar skill to making aspects. So let's start with Kagra. Kagra, do you have an idea for your third belief?
Oh gosh.
So your one is related to so all of these are broken down by which category it's in. So right now you have a spiritual belief open.
Nice. And it's about Castrana.
Yep.
And Castrana is
It's described in the character bio.
yeah.
So
I
if
kind
you
of
want a minute to read over that, that's totally fine.
I kind of like this dual faceted face of like Castrana, where I feel like at the moment the spiritual power is like very Castrana. I think it's missing a bit of Rana.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking out loud. So I'm kind of feeling like a kind of something about death, or like and something to be feared. I think that's what I'm missing in my life. That's about as far as I've thought through in terms of a belief.
So do people have thoughts? It's a useful thing to collaboratively create these.
Yeah, I'm totally open. I know Carl's the best at writing beliefs, so whatever Carl says, I'll probably go with.
Ooh, Castrana.
And you know the like I'm getting a very like Kakura is a character from our other games, so that's sort of like the character I'm thinking about.
So Kagra had this whole thing about putting food on the table, right?
Mm.
This is where the devotion came from, I assume. That provision was
Yep.
part of it.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And I think that, so if you want to lean into the Rana side of things, I can think of any number of horrible beliefs.
Yeah.
So before we dig further, let's get back to safety tools, because I neglected to actually say that. So we're using the X card, and just generally we're talking about things like this because so the last game I ran, we wound up at the end having some very problematic beliefs, and it's too early in the morning for me to want to dig deep into eugenics. So let's back off of that particular path. That will cut down on the decision space for Rana, because there's a lot of potential for badness on that end. So let's not do that.
Okay. No eugenics is always a policy. I'm always on board with no eugenics.
Same.
I was thinking something like some must starve so that others may eat.
Nah.
No. What do you want out of the scythe goddess, Lauren?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
So is it simply an issue of, okay, so is there anyone on this call who's vegetarian?
It's probably a good thing.
Justification for not being vegetarian pretty much comes down to we need to eat and we like meat.
Yes.
And running along that line of reasoning of everyone needs to eat.
Ooh. Yes.
I'm digging. Yeah. I think it's
meat is made for eating.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
I like that. Especially because you're in the League of Exterminators.
Free food all the time.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I like it. I like it.
Well, it matters more whether Lauren likes it.
I think so. I guess just feel free to excom me when I try to start eating people. So it might go there. Do I want to play that character? I'm thinking.
You want to think on it and we come back?
Yeah.
Is that okay, Jason?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks.
All right. 10L.
Let's see here. Mine appears to be family. I was thinking about just going with a pretty simple one along the lines of you can never depend on family.
You can never depend on family. So a nice straight up contradiction with Kagra.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm open to, if people have other ideas, I'm totally interested in hearing other options.
I like that. That kind of gives Tanael a bit more of a personal touch. They're no longer just a force of death. They also have maybe some family drama and or daddy issues or something. So that's kind of interesting.
Can I recommend something a little bit closer to family will always let you down?
Yes, done. That works just fine for me.
All right. So I'll add this to the belief sheet. I hate working on my laptop. All right. So Yard.
So I'm trying to dig into my religious background knowledge here. So it sounds like we've seen one representation of Yard that focused on ritual and like with the funeral and things like that. Then we had one who almost focused on like evangelizing maybe or something to be like, comforting these sex workers. So I'm trying to think of like another element of religion that we could maybe explore with Yard and challenge there.
So there is Yard as ambassador and intercessor with the various gods.
Yeah, I'm thinking too. Maybe evangelizing was the wrong term to use for Lauren's version. Maybe that was more like charity. So maybe I could be more of a ambassador or salesman for gods. So we have every path is unique and no god is greatest, but I'm thinking like something along the lines of like there is an ideal for everyone sort of thing. There is such a thing as the perfect path for one person. I'm trying to find the words to describe this.
So how do you feel on predestination and free will?
Right. I think that there is free will. Speaking as Yard, right?
Yep.
And
Faith is a choice.
well, it's like sort of like you have free will, but that doesn't mean that there is not a perfect path you could be falling into. So like there's always the right choice maybe, or there's always the best choice or something along those lines. I'm not very good at these words, but
there's a way to words that, and I'm trying to think of the best way to words that. One path is
thinking like Greek philosophy.
Yeah.
Greek philosophers help me out here. The Socratic ideal or whatever. But
so
cool.
So you what is it that you're trying to express?
Yeah. Platonic forms is what I'm talking about.
Oh, the forms.
I'm talking about the cave right now.
The cave, yes.
But in a more fun, not.
Are you trying to turn people towards the light? Is that what this is going on in the metaphor?
Yeah.
But there's a God for everyone.
Let's go with that. Yeah, because I want this to be something fun to play with here.
Yeah,
there's a God for everyone. I think that's a good bar fight. Like, well, I don't want a God. I got.
Yes.
Lots of gods. God for everyone. Okay. Thank you. Why was that so hard for me?
Was or had? That's a good belief for me, I think. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, you already have words never solve problems, so.
That's a good point. I do have that belief. That's amazing.
Fantastic. All right. So, Jakath.
So my belief is based on my heritage. It has to do with my mother, or partner of my father in some metaphysical sense. We don't have to get biological about this. They were some aspect of the plane of shadow. My father ventured into the plane of shadow and returned with me as a baby. And so I'm thinking here about how this can be related to how this can be related to my belief into shadow. And I've been thinking things like love is something cast by other things and conceals much, or something like that.
Yeah, them spa fighting words.
Love is a lie.
Love is a lie. Love, I don't think it's a lie. Love is
A story we tell ourselves.
Love is
Love is a construct.
I think it can only be like, I think it might be love flourishes. No, love is I'm trying to get at this idea that love is connected to shadow. And I think it's about concealment. And I think this has to do with something like love flourishes when hidden. Love love hides the obvious.
Is it something that love conceals us in shadows? Like love buries us, and we're trapped and smothered under love, under love's shadow. Sorry,
Yeah,
I have a very negative view of like Jakath's view on family.
Well,
because
I read it more as like, his relationship with his other parent is probably something that he sought, or that what is Jakath's pronouns?
there are no pronouns on any of these characters.
So I can make it whatever it is.
Create whatever pronouns you'd like.
I think I'll play Jakath as he, him, and I think he's always been looking for the love of his other parent in the shadows. It's something he's been longing after. So the love of his father was something that was immediate and available, but the love of his other parent was something that he always yearned after. Yeah.
Right.
So could it just be something like love is a fleeting shadow?
Yeah, that should work. Yeah, that can work. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. All right. Or love is insubstantial. I don't know. I'm gonna go with what I've got, and we'll see how it goes.
Sounds good.
All right.
So I now need to write this. All right, Kagra, where are things at? How's the wordsing?
Good. I think I'm gonna do a 180 when someone pointed out that we could be like, we should think about contradicting each other. And I kind of think instead I want to lean into like her being a hive soldier person, and kind of going with like there's nothing unique about our paths. Like our paths are set in stone. Like we're just same as these like vermin we're exterminating. You know, like everyone's life's got to come to an end. Nothing like that's sort of not like super nihilistic, but that kind of like don't worry about like trying to make your life different because we're all just here doing our jobs. I was gonna try and wrap that into words.
We are all meat.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We're all meat, which is going to be super interesting when I meet Jakath's void parent.
Yep.
We are all meat.
There's nothing special about us. We're just, walking livestock. Yeah, okay. Fantastic. So with that out of the way, the next step is NPCs. So this is a game about relationships at its heart. So each of you has a connection with the person on your left and the person on your right. So to that end, I'm just using my screen to judge this. So we will have one NPC between Jakath and Kagra, one between Kagra and Yard, one between Yard and Tenael, and one between Tenael and Jakath. So let's go through that. The way that you create these NPCs is each of you contributes one thing to that character. So there is a handout that is titled NPCs in Roll20. And I will be editing it. So for NPC 1, between Jakath and Kagra, Jakath, what do you contribute? Is it your heritage, your faction, or your power?
I think it has to be my power, because it goes so against Cocker's beliefs.
So remind me, which power do you have?
Brosian of Mystic Song.
Okay. So what? So clearly, you both follow Brosian of the Mystic Song. Now, how is this NPC's belief totally wrong as compared to yours? Because clearly, your belief is your view on spirituality is correct.
So my view is that magic cannot be controlled. I think that their belief must be magic is a beautiful harmony.
Excellent. So Kagra, what are you contributing to this character? Is it heritage or faction?
I think I like the idea of it being heritage, just because that's gonna make me hate them even more.
Fantastic. So what familial relationship is this? Is this a distant cousin, a sibling, a parent, a child, a lover?
Oh, damn it. I wish I hadn't said that I hate them now, because I always am keen for a lover.
An ex-lover.
Who you still...
That's even better.
Or an on-again, off-again lover.
Both of those sound amazing. Yeah. Yeah, this is a burning wheel, hateful, romantic. I think we're Yeah, we're probably like on again. I think on again, off again is good. I'm here for a good hang fuck.
All right. So I need a couple more things from Lauren on this. One, what does this character appear to be? Because you're all variety of bestial hybrids.
Oh, good question. I think.
Is your ex literally a harpy?
Yes, you have the best ideas, Jason. Which makes it even more perfect because if they're all about song and music and stuff, right? Like
Yep.
they think they can sing well, but oh my god, like it's the worst.
But whenever you're actually work with them, you put up with it. Like you go to karaoke, win, sing, but you do it for the relationship.
Exactly. Like I'll have a good stiff drink or 3.
Yep. Fantastic. So let me just check something. I have a name list, and I'm actually rather happy about the name list. So what social status does this character have? Is it high class, upper middle, lower middle, or low class?
Is this for me to decide, or is this a joint endeavor?
Let's make this joint.
This is for the harpy.
Yep.
God.
I was thinking a high class harpy, but
Yeah, I
that's
think
just me.
high class. It's happy sounds interesting, especially
Yeah.
Classy harpy.
classy happy. Especially because I picture Kagura as being a bit more rough and tumble, so that's a nice like contrast there as well.
I feel
Nice.
like you have the romantic relationship here, so I think you should be the one to decide for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of a high class happy and rough and tumble Kagura.
Excellent. And is there a gender?
Let's make this happy. Let's make her a she. That's
Okay.
good.
All right. So Isha the harpy.
Yes. Jason, I fucking love this game.
You're far too kind. All right. So I have now saved the changes so people can see. Now. So next up is the NPC 2 with Kagura and Yard. So Kagura, what are you contributing?
I think I would like to contribute. A quick look at Yard so I can do the same. Just so I can pay it forward with Kyle. Really. I think I'd like to give them. Let's give them the League of Exterminators.
Okay. You actually may get more leverage off of Kistrana.
Oh yeah, I was tossing it between the two, so I'll say Castrata.
Yeah. Which aspect does this one follow?
Oh, you mean out of Castrata or Rana?
Yeah.
It's
Kestra
Rana.
or Rana?
It's gotta be Rana.
So another Rana?
Yes, please.
All right. So why are their beliefs wrong? Like why are they off on the dogma?
Ooh. I think their interpretation of hospitality is so wrong.
Oh,
Oh.
oh God, what's the name of that? There's a Jason Morningstar game.
Welcome guests.
Yes, welcome guests. Please join us for dinner. says the cannibal family.
maybe that's where
I'd like
they're
to
off.
have you for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's where maybe they have my old belief, right? Like,
Yep. Yep.
meat is to be consumed. We're all meat. Like, yeah, I like that a lot.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, Jard.
Okay, so I am contributing which part again?
You can contribute your in this case, because we already have a power, you get to contribute either a faction or a heritage.
Cool. I don't want them to be part of the Teachers Guild.
Why ever not?
If they are cannibals. So let's go with they are a Fireheart.
Excellent. So what's the familial relationship?
Familial relationship. Interesting. This has to be like a very close sibling, I think.
So, little sister?
Oh, little cannibal sister. Yes. I will have to tell my sister about this character.
Excellent. So where are you in the class ladder?
Yeah, interesting question. I think that it seems as if this is sort of a layman sort of position, you know, like
Okay.
maybe kind of blue collar, working class street priest.
Fantastic. So let's make that Netta. There. All right, NPC 3. So Netta the Butcher Priestess.
Oh goodness. She's gobbling up all my parental affection.
All right. So next up, what are you contributing to the next NPC?
In that case, I think it might be this faction of the Teachers Guild.
Excellent. What's your professional relationship with them?
Maybe this is like my mentor.
Okay. All right. All right. So next.
That's me.
Yep. 10AL. What are you contributing to this mentor teacher?
I think we've already seen my power, so probably my heritage.
Oh, sorry. 10AL.
Or sorry. Oh yeah.
Let's see here. I am going to say, let's see. I guess. Right. Yeah, let's go the easy way and go with family.
Okay.
With heritage.
Excellent. What relationship?
Oh. I'm gonna say older sibling.
Okay. Do you have a gender?
I'd say NB, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like most of us are in that realm.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah.
Those are the Polari for you. So with that, let me just grab a name because I know exactly what class that is. Come on. All right. And while I do this, please feel free to think about the next character. All right. Eloniel.
So I think for the next one, I want to contribute my spiritual. So Adana of the Pact.
Okay. Adana of the Pact. All right. So how are their spiritual beliefs different / wrong?
I feel like a good one would be kind of like the spirit versus the letter of the law type of thing of the contract.
Right. So are they in the spirit?
Uh,
Or are they a literalist?
I think they're a literalist. Yeah. I'm like thinking, I don't know if anyone has seen Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I kind of feel like there's a character, Angel Eyes, there who like he always follows, like any contract that he gets, someone can try and pay him off more and he'll take their money and do what they want them to do, but he'll still like kill them.
Right. Fantastic. And Jakath.
Okay. So that was the deity, correct? That was the power. Okay. So I think, I mean, it's probably pretty good to go with the heritage here. I like that.
All right. So there's two sensible options here.
Mm-hmm.
So is this kin, or is this one of your parents?
What if it's, yeah, what if it's, okay, so, yeah, right, so it's related by power. So I think,
just
I think maybe, what was that? Sorry?
They could be a lover instead.
Oh, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. If my belief is love is a fleeting shadow, that makes a fuck ton of sense. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So what kind of lover are we talking about here? We have one on again, off again. So is this like your fiance?
I think this is.
Or have you been married for 100 years and there is no love, but you're married?
If you want to swap, Kyle, I'm happy to be married to a Hoppy if you want the on again, off again relationship.
That might make sense given my belief to have an on again, off again relationship.
We could have multiple on again, off again relationships and having you two commiserate. I mean, it's all good.
I'm also here for that. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that.
I think the important thing here is that mine is not hateful. I'm just very sad.
So, well, that's the other thing. Is it a rather than on again, off again? Could it actually be that you just broke up, like your ex-fiance? You're mourning it, and you lost it, and it's not going to come back. But you have that, like, whenever you deal with them, there's that like lingering.
I think I'm personally more into the kind of dysfunction of like the this NPC being very unavailable and me being very attached.
Okay.
And just like their affection being very intermittent and unpredictable and fleeting. Yeah.
Okay. I love this game in that it sets up so many of these really messy emotional spaces in relationships. Oh yes, we need to name them. Do you have a gender for the person?
Oh, I'm pretty open to anything. So what are the genders of our existing NPCs? Maybe that's something I can work from.
We have I believe it looks like we've got a female harpy, a female butcher priestess, and NB scholar of the eternal ice.
Yeah, I think I'm good with gender fluid. Actually, I think that makes a lot of sense here.
Okay. So, Farag. We've got Farag, the Farag the binder. Excellent. So everyone should now be able to see all of the NPCs.
Just a note, you have 2 NPC3.
Yeah, I know. I'm just changing that right now. Excellent. So now that we've got all of this out of the way, normally the way that we start each game is about creating things about Zoltan the Divine. However, because we've got some veteran players, we're not going to do that. We're going to go to advanced mode. So when the game starts, the issue is that all of you are called to Netta the Butcher Priestess, who presents you with a small child glowing with divine power. And she says, I need your help. So, let's do one scene and then we'll take a quick break. So yes, excellent. I love the muted laughing going on. This is a thing. So we're going to go through a scene. Scenes are set up in the following fashion. You first, everyone rolls their smoke die to determine who gets to create one of the three components of the scene. These components are the platform, the tilt, and the question, in that order. The person with the highest result gets to have their first choice of those three things. Next up gets the second, then the third. So, the platform is the initial situation. It's a snapshot of where it is, who's there, how much time has passed since the last scene. By contrast, the tilt is what happens when you start the camera back up and you get about 20 seconds of video. Something is going on, and it's the reason why we're focusing on this scene. Why you have to get involved. And then you have the tilt, which is the question, which is the thing that you're trying to find out in the scene. Once you answer the question, you can finish the scene and you move on. So, everyone roll your smoke die. Make sure that you don't have any of your talents checked on your character sheet. All right. So we have Yard, Kagra, Jakath, and the GM. So we're still waiting for Tanael. Yes, we're just waiting for Tanael.
I guess, roll 20 question. How do I roll that?
So on your character sheet,
Mm-hmm.
if you find the smoke die, you should just be able to click on that. So long as you don't have any of your talents checked, it will be fine.
Hold on a second. Let's see if I do it this way. Interesting. If you have it if you've popped it out into its own window, it won't let you roll.
Oh. All right. So
that, just for your information, that thing pops under if you pop it out into its own window. So it's under some other windows. That's what's going on.
Oh, I mean, no, I found it.
Okay.
But clicking it was not doing anything. But if I have it in the actual plain old Roll20 window, it worked.
All right. So we've got ties at 2?
8. Kagra.
Oh yeah, 8. So we have an 8, 4, and 2 2s. So the 2s re-roll.
Okay.
Oh God. I'm apparently not doing anything.
It's really hard mode now.
Fantastic. It's delightful. I just sit back and let you destroy each other emotionally. So the decisions on this starts with Kagra, then goes to Yard, then goes to Tanael. So, Kagra, which of these three things would you like?
Oh gosh. And this is for framing around the scene with the baby that's definitely not being eaten, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I don't get to determine what's going on with the baby. That is your problem.
Okay.
This is hard mode. Okay, we're Xing baby eating. That's fair.
It's totally fair. And I have a choice between the question and
The platform.
The platform.
Now, you can always, if you are ever stumped and want the easy way out, you can always take the tilt and say there's a baby godling in with the butcher goddess, and then you're good.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a very simple.
Yeah. And yeah. Actually, I feel like I feel bad because like that is totally the easy option, but that is also my like main concern, both as Kagura and as Lauren, is there is a meat baby with the butcher priestess, who I know is a very loose interpretation of hospitality. So this baby cannot stay with her.
So let's just say that you make the tilt, and next up is I believe Yard, who gets to pick either the platform or the question.
I'll do the platform.
Okay, and then we have the question. So just for clarity of procedure, normally it is done platform, then tilt, then question. We're just breaking this order slightly in this particular context, but normally the tilt must be based on the platform. So Yard, go for it. What is the platform? Where is this? When is this? Who's there?
So the sort of establishing shot is this long line of people like waiting outside of this big, currently on fire building, which is not anything to be concerned about. And there's this large sign up there that says, the Butcher Temple. But there's a big, like, heavy padlock on the front door. And everyone is very confused because this is the time that we all come to have our meats be butchered and processed. And this is very strange that this door is not opening. And I think we even see people, in spite of the door being locked, just still shaking it. And they're all carrying like various different animals and other meat-like things to be processed in this temple. Can I go a little bit further inside? Yep. So we see several different slabs laid out, and we see like different podiums, each with like its own unique set of tools. And they're all set up because we have multiple different faiths that require specific forms of butchery to follow their principles. And the butcher priestess is one who is informed about all of these different procedures and is sort of ready to handle any faith or meat that comes their way. But it's all done very ethically, we see. But then we come sort of to the end of the line, and there's like one stone slab left, and maybe we see Netta there with this glowing baby, just looking sort of perplexed.
So probably glowing toddler.
Toddler.
For it can toddle around.
Good deal.
Fantastic. Also, apparently, in this, we have another X card in the chat for folks, and we've got. So apparently, the Butcher Priestess is actually like specialized in such a way that they can do halal and kosher and like 7 different like ordinations under 7 different religions to be able to meet the specific religious requirements for all this. Oh yeah. Yep. Neat. That is fantastic. All right. So the question.
So just to roll back, what are the characters there right now?
We can establish that either way.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out whether or not I guess is the question what we're what is being asked of the characters, or is this just the general question of
What are we playing to find out?
Okay. um would people feel, I guess a question that I think would be something along the lines of either who or how did this godling come to be in this place, i.e., why did someone bring this to the Butcher Priestess? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Is that too
That's a
simple of
question
a
I
question?
have.
Would you like a more complicated question?
No, that's fine.
What's this baby doing here? That's a good start.
Yeah, so the Heralds Guild sent messengers out to all of you saying that Netta requires your assistance.
Of course.
And that this is a priority. So is it a safe thing to say that most of you arrive quickly?
The Sage Colloquium will act with all expediency to provide the necessary information.
And I mean, while I oppose some of her practices, she's always good for a good meal.
Yeah.
I sense my my guild has worked with them in the past, and I'm kind of like on retainer of sorts. Likely thinking that there might be a need for, but this is kind of whomever did do this will need to have my services applied unto them.
Yep. Fantastic.
I hesitate for just a moment because while I'm very proud of my sister and the work that she does, I still cannot get over the smell of her temple. I much prefer the incense and potpourri of the other temples. So, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Fantastic. Well, when you arrive, you see a frantic Netta. Thank Rana you're here. And welcomes you into the temple. So I was just getting well, you have to see this, and brings you all in to see the small, like, glowing toddler who is currently making like cute little hand movements, and rivulets of blood are dancing. So what do you do?
I think that I think I would examine their regularity, the dancing rivulets of blood, how they move. I'm trying to observe the patterns.
Okay. Yeah, so it's there seems to only be one pattern, which is whatever this toddler wants to happen happens. And that is the causality in question. Like that's the only rule that's in place.
All right. And I think there's like there's a certain like light bulb going off in my head. Like, Interesting. And I think I would turn to the others and see what they're going to do. I'm just observing, trying to get suss out the information here.
Netta, this is no place for a child. What do you think you're doing? And I'll like pick up the toddler and try to like comfort them. There's like knives and things around here.
The baby cuddles.
Oh. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
The baby just showed up. I don't have the right tools necessary for this particular form of butchery. Have you ever tried to dice up god meat? It's the skin's unbreakable. The meat is always tough unless you throw it into the ever fire to tenderize it. I mean, this is not my forte. And he's cute as a button.
Oh, a god, you say? I think I didn't really realize at first, and now I'm trying to figure out how to reverently. I've never held a god before. So.
I'm sure Tennille says under their breath something along the lines of probably some terrible brother brought them here. Just left them, dropped them off.
Yes, where did the baby come from?
Just appeared on a slab. That one points at it.
A instantaneous manifestation?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, you say.
The slab is covered with blood.
Oh, interesting. It is some kind of birthing process.
I don't know. This isn't my job.
No, of course. I'm simply
kind of midwife. No, I'm on the other side of the equation.
Yes, of course. I respect your professional duties. Simply here to understand. It is what you want, right? Information, knowledge, understanding.
Yes. And just make sure the god doesn't cry again.
Oh, what happened when they cried?
So you actually look around and you can see shattered windows. And you actually see. So it is unusual for Netta to be so sloppy that an antelope would be stuck on the ceiling.
I look up at the antelope like, yes. I wonder if this is really the godling's place.
What do you mean?
I think it's clearly not.
Kagra, I think we ought to get this child back to its parents. Don't you agree?
Of course. I mean, like, I don't know what a god eats. I can't, like, fend for it. And if it's gonna start crying because it gets hungry, yeah, we gotta find his parents.
Yes, an investigation.
All right. So you would like to try to figure out what the hell is going on. Is that a sensible statement?
Yes.
So who is trying to do this?
I am.
Okay. So let's look at your talents. Because it's totally a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a broad talent that applies?
Magic. I think. Magic.
Let's give you planes instead.
Okay, let's do planes.
Because the gods tend to come from planes.
Yeah.
Do you have a common talent that applies?
I think planar gates applies here. There's been some kind of birthing process.
Yep. Sounds good. And you have a deep talent that applies.
I think Portalsmith may apply if I'm investigating what the portal was that it emerged from.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do people think? One thing to hold true, Sig runs off of the rule of meh. So if anyone's uncertain or lukewarm on something, either applying or not, it doesn't.
So you're asking for our input on,
Yes.
on the answer?
You got any mehs out there?
Me personally, I have a lot of meh, but character uncertain.
My heart is full of meh. Well, I think it could be interesting if this godling was formed by the union of two gods, like we've kind of seen a lot of duality in gods, but then was abandoned because I think Tanael would be into that family letting you down thing, and putting this baby smack dab between Tanael and Kagra's beliefs is interesting to me. But I'm open.
Okay. I'm getting a meh on Portalsmith. So
let's make that a meh. All right. So let's roll for that.
Okay. And this is rolling with my spark, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 10.
Oh, but that's with the planar gates, right?
No.
No? Okay.
Or but yeah, with planar gates, not
so
Portalsmith.
you have to check the other two.
What? No, I did.
Okay.
I got planes and planar gates.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
Not Portalsmith because that was meh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it wasn't. I didn't scroll down, so it didn't show it. Okay, fantastic. So you got a 10 and I got a 10. That's a tie.
All right.
Let's run with the tie rules because those are fun.
Sudden death.
So, for those who have not played Sig before, the rules for ties are as follow. In case of a tie, both parties say what else happens if they win, and you re-roll. It's double or nothing. So, Kyle.
Yes.
You get information about how the baby was summoned or arrived here, and
and I think I understand its limitations. Because I have a belief about magic cannot be controlled. So it apparently can do anything, but I want to know what it is that it can't do.
Okay, fantastic. So if I win, not only is the origin concealed, but your investigations anger the baby.
No.
You scare the baby.
4 weirdos and a baby.
Fantastic. All right, so let's roll again.
Okay. Same roll?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm a winner.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that you're a winner. So with that, you get to describe what you would like, and then I'll fill in whatever gaps you'd like me to fill. And another thing is, you should now mark, not only are you marking your 1 point of harm for winning in the first place, but because it's a tie, you're marking a 2nd point of harm. So now you cannot roll higher than a D10.
All right. Great. Okay, so why do I learn? So it was about the parentage and the limitations, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think it'd be fun to tie it to some of our gods, our powers. Oh,
I have an answer if you want one. Just so you know.
Okay, that's good to know. Oh, I think, yeah. Maybe this baby is the child of Brosian and what was the goddess of this temple?
Kestrana.
Kestrana. Brosian and Kestrana. Yeah. And then the limitation, I think, is they I think they ooh, should I pull in like a setting belief here or something?
It is your choice.
Okay. Um I think that maybe they're incapable of resisting. I'm thinking something about music here. I think that there's some kind of music that limits their abilities. Do you have anything more in that regard?
Um, so
Lullabies.
so music lulls it into sleep.
So it's okay. Okay, I love it. This godling is incapable of resisting lullabies.
Um, and this will probably hold true later on. Um, and then
Good.
the pieces come together, and it becomes painfully obvious that the child's mouth is full of blood, and the irises of that child are blood red. And oh, it's that kind of god. So maybe singing is a good thing.
Yeah.
This might be one of the ones you want sleeping.
And I turn to the group and I say, well, I have given this matter some thought and consulted my accumulated knowledge I've gained through the collegium. And it occurs to me that well, this child is the child of Castrana and Brosian. And as it is the child of Brosian, it may be relaxed and calmed by music. And I like point to this like horrific godling in our presence. I say,
I'm like,
perhaps you would all like to join me in a song.
I'm patting their back and they burp blood all over my shoulder. It's like, "Ugh, that might not be a bad idea."
The blood starts crawling down your back like
Oh.
some kind of animated creature, spider-like.
Yeah. So
God.
I like look at everybody. I'm like, perhaps a dinner song. Yes.
Um, my voice is a little rusty. Tariel, I've always heard that your people have such beautiful lullabies and tales and stories to sing.
Yes, but those songs tend to be difficult on the ears of those not at the Polari. They're rather, I guess you'd say.
Hogwarts, you are of the faith. Perhaps you have something to share with us.
Of course I do. I think like as soon as you said like, oh, this is Castrana, like Kagura just like lit up a bit, but still looks like very uncomfortable with the concept of this godling because it's really just conflicting with her idea that sort of everything is mundane and we are hive mind like peons. So I think like she's almost like making outstretched like arms to Yard to like pass off the toddler, the devil toddler to her because like it's family. I think she's even like, Yard, like all of you, this is mine. This is family. And I know the songs to sing to keep it happy.
I can see that your connection to this god is indeed very strong. This is quite a fated opportunity for you, I think. Perhaps a new direction, new path for your life.
I would recommend keeping an eye on it at all times.
Oh, of course, it is also the child of Brosian. It is not simply yours. What of Brosian's followers? Are they not party to this miraculous birth?
And I think like Kagura is holding it and she gives you a look and she's just like, you want to fight me for it?
I think I say, are you really so committed to this baby you've only just met?
Well, it's family. It gives you a look like duh.
And I think I like look away for a moment and I'm just like, family means different things to different people.
So Yard notices something at that point. The baby staring at Kagura intensely with the eyes have gone all black, like clotted blood. And this strong sense of connection and family ties, and this is bloodkin, that miraculously appeared in Kagura's mind. Well, just saying.
So it's like a reverse imprint.
Yes.
Yeah, like Kagura went looking very, very, very uncomfortable at this to very, very, very comfortable. Very strange.
I'll let you X-card this if you're not comfortable with that, but I think that Yard is maybe going to let this slide, because every person has a god, and this might be Kagura's path. So
I'm totally cool with that.
So I think that ends the scene.
Maybe like a parting shot. I'm like,
Yep.
Ned, it doesn't hurt to send a courier to mom every now and again, right?
Oh, and then the antelope falls off the ceiling.
Yes.
As you hum and sing the Godling into sleep. Fantastic. Excellent. So let's finish this scene and then take a quick bio break. Or coffee break, as the case may be. Let's go through beliefs at this point. I need to add tokens so we can remove tokens. So these are all goblins now. All the goblins. And kobolds. All right, so let's go through my beliefs first. Passion is incorruptible. How do people feel about that?
We're asking whether those things were shown in the scene.
Yep.
Is it so? It's supported or refuted, right?
Correct.
I feel like we kind of passion.
The one thing I was thinking about was like this false passion that Kagura was experiencing, and maybe that is corrupted.
Yeah, I think we kind of refuted it, is my feeling.
So could I get just a little bit of clarity about what happened in that last part? I'm a little bit
Sure.
confused.
So
I got possessed by the demon baby, or at least
Okay. Okay.
not possessed, but more like I feel a very significant attachment to this demon baby.
Okay.
demon's a harsh word.
It's a godling. It's fine.
Hey, you're projecting the bad stuff onto demon. I think demons are great.
All right. So we have officially dealt with that. All right. I get an influence. Laws are absolute.
I think we probably refuted that because the baby was doing some real weird stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good. And everyone is connected.
Yup.
I think that's legit.
I think we hit that.
All right. So everyone gets an influence.
Yay.
And I refresh the sheet for myself. Yay. Next up, Kagura the Gentle. You can depend on family.
I think like does that go both ways? Like family can depend on me.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally hit that. This baby can totally depend upon me. I'm here for this. I'm here for this toddler.
Yep. Yeah. Words never solve problems.
I think I hit on that just when I sort of looked at it was Jakath and said like when Jakath was trying to convince me and I was like, no, just fight me, bro.
Yeah.
Stop with your words and just fight me.
Yeah.
All right. And we are all meat.
Considering that's all about sort of like all of us are destined for a pathway that we kind of think like we're all the same. I don't think I did. I think like I don't think I hit on that one.
Okay. You didn't refute it?
Yeah, I think it was refuted.
I think I refuted it, yeah, because look at me.
All right. So you get 3 influence and everyone else gets 1 influence.
Awesome.
All right. Tenail Nightblade. So politics are cruel.
I don't know if the politics came into this that much. Did people think otherwise?
There were interreligious politics.
Possibly.
But I don't know if I don't know if they were necessarily cruel one way or the other, though. They just were kind of there. Yeah.
I would like to maybe highlight that in the next scene, though. Could be interesting.
Sure.
Yep. Honor has no price.
Nah.
Family will always let you down.
I think that seems fair-ish. Maybe in the flip side, because she's Lauren's character has become very attached to this family member.
Also, there's 2 negligent deities kicking around.
There's that too.
So yeah, you get that influence. Yard the Pious. Every path is unique.
We're certainly on a unique path now, I believe.
Yep.
Nailed it.
No God is greatest.
By saying that no God is perfect, in the sense that they've abandoned this baby, is that close, or is that a different concept entirely?
I think we at least showed the limitation of this god, so
That's true.
that may have helped hit on that.
I think that qualifies. And there is a God for everything. Yep.
Even for blood. Indeed.
Fantastic. So yeah, you get 3 in total, and everyone else gets 1 influence.
Okay.
And we have knowledge is a gateway.
I think definitely because, like, in a very literal sense, knowledge was a gateway in this scene.
Yep.
Yeah. And my next one.
Magic cannot be controlled.
Magic cannot be controlled. I think I definitely hit that. Or like we hit that because of the sort of like capricious nature of the godling, and then also the fact that they don't have total control of the situation. Yeah.
And love is a fleeting shadow.
I think that was refuted, like in the sense of familial love in the scene. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you get 3 and everyone else gets 1.
Okay.
So would we like to do an interlude at this point? And then
I sure would.
Pause?
I sure would. Yep.
Yep. All right. So who would you like to do an interlude with? I think there's only one person who has harm, so
that's me, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me look at the NPCs, because I think that might come up here, since I can't remove harm from anybody else.
Right. Well, you can still have interludes with people even if there's no harm.
Right. I was just thinking, because it's of no benefit to anyone else.
Oh, right.
Mechanically, it might make sense to do the NPC at this point.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think I think I may. I can see either Isha or Farag in this situation as important.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to go to Farag. I think I'm going to go to Farag here to start out with. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to learn about Farag?
I want to learn if Farag really loves anyone.
All right. So let me just look at what we've got for the details for Frog again. Oh, right.
This is motivated by the previous scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there's just a quick moment of Farag coming to see you for personal reasons, and then seeing Kagra sitting in the corner, and then seeing the small baby, and then turning away from you and walking towards the baby.
And I think, like, there's like a look on my face of like trying to hold it together.
Yep.
But like also a look of like, I'm gonna watch what happens here because I want to know.
Oh, he's so cute. And can I hold him?
I think like Kagura, like, cause I guess I don't have any personal ties to Farag, do I?
No.
Yeah, so I think Kagura sort of like, she like turns away a little bit and it's like holding this like toddler, and it's like, you may look at them. Aren't they something to behold? Like, and I think sort of like,
they're magnificent. and you feel this sense of blood ties to this person now.
Ooh.
Faraga, Faraga is now tied to you by blood.
And I think like I get that feeling, like Kagura like opens up her body language a bit more and then like says, well, if you see them as I see them as family, then and then sort of like offers the godling out to Farag.
Yeah, and Farag just cuddles. And so there's a bit of contrast with the glowing baby with the blood red eyes in Farag's blue arms.
And I think like even like Kagura, Freudian slip, Kagura, like I think even like puts a hand on like Farag, like to create like a physical connection there as well. And I think Kagura is also gazing down, like sort of hand on the shoulder, like likewise gazing down at like this godling, just very connected to Farag.
Yeah, I think it's like my face. So yeah, I was talking about my face, and I think when I go into a place of like self-doubt or sadness, I think it's like my face just disappears.
Yep.
And there's nothing there but shadow. And I look at this scene and my face reappears and I leave the room.
Yep.
And because I went to lean into weird cat piss, and I think like Kagura probably even, I don't know, like leans closer and like gets a good whiff of Farag and this godling.
Yep.
They both smell so good together.
Oh, totally.
We all belong together now.
Exactly.
Yes.
Totally. Fantastic. So you can remove one harm.
Okay.
And let's go take a quick bio break and coffee break. So about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And that interaction healed your harm?
Yep, apparently.
How you doing, sir?
I'm feeling good. I was worried that like 5.5, 6 hours of sleep would not be enough. But I'm feeling really good.
Awesome.
And I have a nice, decent chunk of time before I'm back on help desk, so I think I might even try napping. I'm not a very good napper.
I can nap, though I need to nap. I can't do like the 20-minute cat nap thing. It just doesn't work for me. I need to do like, I don't know, like 90 minutes or something like that. That I can do, but I never really end up having that much time to actually do that. So I don't tend to
Right.
nap a lot.
What happens for me is that I'll either lay there for an extended period of time with my eyes closed and nothing happening, or I'll fall asleep and then nap for like 3 hours and then
Yep.
just be all whacked out.
Yeah.
So
What
I'll
year is it?
sleep. Yeah, right. Very, very Rip Van Winkle style. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. It's been a really awesome convention so far.
Yep, I would agree. I will be right back. I need to get thicker socks.
Kyle, am I right that we're basically on opposite time zones?
I think that's right. What time is it there?
It's 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, so it's like 11:28 p.m. here.
Okay. So we're experiencing a similar level of tiredness, just in a different way.
Yeah, that's right.
Science is weird.
But you've played way more games than me.
Yeah, I've been experiencing this odd sensation of like it's almost like a runner's high. I think there was a creative exhaustion, and now I've hit the flow, I guess, and now it's just all good.
Great, awesome.
Sorry for the delay. Is Shane still out?
He was just getting some new socks.
Okay.
Some warmer socks.
I can put them on where you guys can't see them, so
Fantastic.
I can continue doing so while we play.
Brilliant. So, any thoughts on the game so far? Anything we should change, redirect, adjust, or are we still good with a brainwashing cult blood god baby?
I'm pretty into it.
Okay.
I'm kind of here for this.
Yeah.
I'm cutting this so hard right now. I'm totally fine going down this path of being taken over by a cult demon baby.
I really wish I could integrate the support flower into role for your party, because I love that has like kind of like the O-Cardish type stuff built into it as well. But I think to a certain extent, I feel like one of the good things about playing like we play and on chat is having chat, and we can be like, yes, please, more of this, or we can shake our fists or whatnot.
Yeah,
that's what I think of the chat. It's like the chat's like the support flower.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for the X cards in the chat, because there's a lot of narrative room in the situation that I had set up. So because that constrained the possibility space, it was better from not even from a safety perspective, just from a narrative perspective. So that was good. Also, I respect safety, but it's nice when it works on both sides of the equation. So, all right. So why don't we dive into another scene? So everyone roll your smoke. And who knows, I might even be able to create something in the scene. Or not. I mean, that's fine.
Don't get any better than this.
So looks like I'm first, followed by Jakath. followed by Yard. So, for this next scene, I'm going to go with the question because I'm lazy.
I'll go with the platform. So this is now that we're in the second scene, we can include or not include people as we like in these scenes,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I definitely want a scene with Yard and myself. And I think.
So you want the platform, so that means that Yard has
the platform. Yeah, the platform. That's
fantastic.
Right.
Just confirming that we have clarity on that front. So okay, so platform. You get to create the platform.
Yeah. So I think this is like maybe. Ooh.
You have a book handy.
I have a book. I can choose a place in SIG. I can do that. Yeah.
There is one obvious option, which is page page 167. Well, 166.
God Street. Yeah, sure. Let's go with God Street. Yeah, and I think maybe this is like, I don't know. So Yard is kind of like this lay priest, right? So like maybe Yard does some preaching here occasionally, and I've come to see Yard. I wonder if there's anyone else. Does anyone else want in on this scene?
Can you
elaborate a little bit?
Like is this like a time jump, a flashback?
No, this is like forward in time after the previous scene. I've gone to see Yard at God Street, which is like a place with a whole bunch of temples and a whole bunch of gods and followers and people coming and going. And there's like basically like a ranking of temples from like one end to the other, if I remember correctly. Yep. Yeah. So that's the platform. I don't think I need to give anything more than that for the platform, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then Yard gets to create the tilt.
Cool. The tilt. So, this is the slight change, the spark that kind of gets this scene going, right?
Yep.
I think maybe Yard is struggling to herd a large group of people who all have like these dark maroon eyes, and they're all trying to go to one temple, and normally his job is to find the perfect group for them, but they all want to go to one place.
Yep. So I'm guessing that this is probably a really small temple at the end of Cult's Way, like on the tail end of the street. Fantastic. So, question. We know that Brossian is, I think the correct term is profligate, and is a bad father. But why has Kestrana abandoned this baby in Sig?
Okay, why has Kestrana abandoned the baby? All right. So, we should just kick it off, right?
Yep. So, yeah, the cultists are moving towards this abandoned building, this abandoned cultist temple. It's mostly abandoned because there was an infestation of soul leeches who drained the previous priesthood dry. So the League of Exterminators just cleaned the place up last week, but it was boarded up and someone abandoned. Yard, what is one detail about the physical building? And what was the nature of the previous deity that had been living here?
So this was a rather small deity who had been inhabiting this place, right? So very minor. I'm thinking this was like a deity um, of like they were the god of stone fruits, I think. So like any
Oh,
fruit,
excellent.
any fruit that has like a stone pit is like was under their purview.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
How do they feel about avocado?
That was probably one of the high holy fruits was the avocado, and the peach was up there as well, and the mango. Yes, and maybe as far as like a detail, like something that remains from that,
Yeah.
their tenure there, and also keeping in mind that everything is on fire.
I mean, in addition to the fact that there's these small carved peaches and trellises all along the pillars. Like in
Right.
addition to that, there's clearly other things.
I think that I get the impression here that Sig is a very cosmopolitan, urban,
Yep.
dense city. So there is a surprisingly large amount of space set aside for trees.
Yep.
There's extra, like maybe additionally like a courtyard in the center. Of course, these trees are currently on fire, but nobody's too concerned about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a large grove of trees.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, perfect.
I will take your gratitude with a grain of salt.
So the cultists move towards this temple, and a large peach tree opens its eyes. And when a cultist tries to move towards the door, lashes out with the tree limb, breaking bones and smashing it into a fountain. And the godling baby looks at the broken body, and these rivulets and streams of blood come flowing out of the broken body and flow into the baby's mouth.
Oh, now this is all a bit too much, don't you think, Jakath? A bit too much by half.
Yes, I think so. I certainly think so. Yard, you believe, as you often tell me, that every individual has a god that corresponds to them perfectly. Is that not correct?
Ideally, yes, that should be how it works out.
Well, is it or is it not the case? Haven't you investigated this?
Well, I didn't want to be too critical of you, Jakath. I mean, I just haven't heard from you. If you don't seem to be a very pious sort, and sometimes bringing up religion can be a rather contentious topic.
My piety is unimpeachable. I sing on every evening, often to myself, in the darkness. My observances are followed.
And in the darkness bind them.
Yes. In any
Can you
case,
remind me of your power too, and
my melodic charm beguiles a target and temporarily convinces them that I am their steadfast friend. And if you choose not to spend influence, the target will remember being charmed when they next wake.
so it sounds
yes.
kind of similar to what we're seeing here.
Yes, except probably much less effective. Yeah, and so I say, well, the matter that needs investigating here, and I like point at the baby, like grabbing the blood rivulets, is whether these individuals who have come under its sway, in fact, do correspond to it so perfectly.
Well,
The baby burps.
perhaps this is merely a shortcut, and you know that all of these folks were destined to follow this course anyway, and this baby is just making that process easier. I know as a young man, I wandered between several of the gods before I found my way to Nyx. Perhaps we should say that they are blessed.
Well, that is a conjecture, but I would prefer to know, O follower of the questioner, whether you have any skepticism about this proposition.
Yeah.
The little imp toddles up to you two, and in a very deep, resonant voice, Zalthax, Destroyer of Worlds, says, "Are you going to deal with that?
I say,
It's making a mess all over my temple."
well, you should ask him.
Look, Yard. We listen to your bloody sermons. Keep the new kid in line. Neophytes, mortals. Gonna kill them all. Wanders off.
Perhaps you are right, Jakath. Perhaps we should seek some answers. But you must know that the dreams that Nyx provides are not always as clear cut as you may prefer. But if you so desire, I would grant you the foretelling blow.
Excellent. You offer the hypotheses, and I will provide the deduction.
The buddy cop, handshake kind of goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's elementary, Watson. Tell me how I can take advantage of this ritual, because that looks interesting to me.
So, do you want to spend influence? I recommend you don't.
Okay. You want the prophetic nightmare to come to pass, Jason? Is that so?
But I'm just always going to recommend that you not spend influence on your rituals. I mean,
Because
they're usually exciting that way. Let me just tell you about one ritual that no one has that is indicative of what this means. Eater of Worlds, Child of Oblivion, Power of Chaos, Death, and Hunger, has the ritual The Famine Touch. Curses a target to never gain sustenance until they devour the flesh of a specific person. If you choose not to spend one influence, the curse is transmitted to anyone bidden. So, isn't that good story seed?
Yes.
ghoulish lycanthropy.
Yeah. Contagious cannibalism? I mean, it's just always better if you don't spend influence.
I mean, I hear the words prophetic nightmare, and that does excite me a little bit more than prophetic dream. So is this something I am bestowing to you, Jakath, or that I am taking on myself and you're interpreting?
Oh, hit me with it.
Okay, so are you cool if I give you a nightmare?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. What does is there something established that this looks like, or is this up to me?
It's up to you.
I think it's very like you might expect it to be like this whole mystical process, but I just like I say I chant a few words or whatever, but then I just pick up my staff and bonk you right on the head, and that's that's the blow. With that sort of Discworld level of humor, maybe. So sleep tight.
So, let's say that it knocks you out cleanly.
Can we work to the question here?
So you wake up seemingly standing before a giant temple made of congealed blood, where a tall, black-haired, and ambiguous NB figure stands on an altar with a large bathing pool in front of it, in front of them, full of bubbling liquid, where dozens of people are chained up and dripping into the pool, including Brossian, Kester, and Rana.
And I think I want to discern the person of this horrific giant god.
Yeah. No, it's totally exactly what you think.
Yeah. Okay. And I look around and I mutter to myself, well, that was a question easily answered. Can we cut there?
Yeah. Well, except that there's one other thing going on. Yeah, so the Silva Temple Guardian is still dealing with the crowd of cultists, and the baby. So Kagra, when you return, will be asked to do things. So,
Okay.
Tennille, how do you react to this entire situation?
Well, so I think, let's see, we saw that. I saw that. So how much of this did I see? I saw
You saw none of the dream.
okay. But I saw Yard sorry, I
Knockout
saw Jakath.
Jakath, yep.
And then him go down. And it didn't seem like an argument. I mean, did I overhear all of this or all of the preliminary and stuff?
Your choice.
Sorry, I want to look at my beliefs real quick.
By the way, I think I used my cloak of invisibility at the end of that scene.
Nice. So you just vanish. Yeah, nice.
Okay. Oh, that might be better. Okay. So maybe I didn't hear any of this.
Okay.
And I just saw like him bang him, he goes out and then disappears.
Yep.
I think I'm probably gonna go up to Yard and right. Was that necessary? Was that
they were asking for it.
I'm not one who likes things done without reason, and I don't really understand why you would. What did he do that made you destroy him like that?
Destroy? Ha! If only I had that power. I could probably solve a lot of my problems more easily. No. He's just, they've just, disappeared for a while. You know how they get up to in their melancholy. They're around here somewhere. Kick the dust a bit.
Speaking of kicking the dust, so in the background, there's just this brawl between mind-controlled cultists and this ant-like Silva, temple guardian, just in the background.
What a disgrace.
What?
So, Kagra, what are you doing?
Is it still the sit in the stone fruit temple with people fighting? Is it the?
Yep.
What is Kagra doing? Kagra has family that depends upon her, so she's. This is going to be such a weird phrase. She's probably trying to like harvest as much of the blood around the place for later. To like you would have a bottle in the fridge for a baby, you know?
Oh yeah.
So just in case it needs to, just so it doesn't go without. So she's
All right, so you're letting the other cultists fight the treant, and you're harvesting the blood.
Yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic. I'll just let you do that. All right. So back to the other Ted's conversation.
I mean, perhaps I should question that ability, Tanael, since it does seem to be something within your repertoire. Do you think this is a problem that could be solved with simple assassination of some sort? Legally binding, of course. I
mean, many problems are solved that way. In my experience, it's either that or money.
Oh, money. Of that I know little. And perhaps death even less.
So you have minimal experience killing gods, then?
I would have to say so. And yourself? You are always full of surprises, Nightblade.
It's obvious that he's like remembering something, and he's like, I'd rather not say. But
well,
you'd be surprised.
Well, and remind me again the question we're
we
out.
Can end the scene. Yeah. It's simply that I assumed that there'd be something going on. What with the giant brawl on God Street, and apparently no. Apparently it's just collecting the spilled blood, allowing a treant to be slaughtered, and a temple established to the blood god. Okay. That's fine.
I know that imp wants me to put a handle on this, but I have a feeling things will just shake out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nyx wouldn't want me to stop anyone from
Pursuing their dreams.
indeed. So
Yeah, that's fine. That's all good.
And I certainly assume that all of this is like completely legit, completely standard. Like I'm not phased by any of this. It's just like, okay, this is no one else will be upset. This must be how this normally goes. So
Right.
I'm okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go through beliefs. So people's beliefs. Passion is incorruptible. I think that got refuted.
Yeah, I think so.
Laws are absolute.
Maybe meh.
Yeah, that's a meh. Everyone is connected.
I think yes. Like I was feeling a lot of character connections in that scene. Like everybody's kind of getting drawn together there.
You can depend on family.
they will gather blood for you.
I think so.
Yeah. I think so. I think I lit into that one.
Words never solve problem. Prompt blood collection does. Also, you didn't solve any problems there.
I know. I was gonna say.
So there was a lot of talking and nothing solved. So you're good. And we are all meat.
I think we saw that in the background of people fighting and someone dying with Kagura going, like that was kind of what I was playing into. I guess it's like we're all just people. I've got my obligations to my family to feed them, being of my goddess. So,
By the way, do you mind if the god changes your belief?
Go for it.
We are all blood.
Yes. That's so basic.
Done. All right, so everyone gets an influence, and you get 3. We have politics are cruel.
I feel like I was implying that somewhat, but I don't know if people feel meh. I'm okay with it feeling meh.
Can you speak a little bit more on that?
I think. Well, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I'm gonna pull back. I think probably not.
Okay.
I don't know if I got any of these, but I'll let other people.
Honor has no price.
I think it was maybe refuted because there's a lot of talk about money and how money can get things done. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Let's count that. Every path is unique.
Did we skip family?
No, it was already claimed last scene. So it's not available.
Oh, you have to get all of them to refresh. Right. Okay. So next scene, politics must be cruel or beneficial for sure. Every path is unique. I think that might be almost being refuted.
I think it's refuted.
There is only one path.
Right into the blood cauldron at the end of time.
We definitely saw one god claiming dominance over another or attempting to. So I think that was refuted as well. There's a god for everything. I mean, there's a god of stone fruit. That's pretty specific. So
that's fair.
So.
Well, there was a god for stone fruit.
Yeah.
But
can you imagine an avocado that doesn't have a pit? That might not be a bad thing.
I think
that's like 10% more avocado.
I was thinking it's the most horrifying thing I've ever heard of because I pictured it hollow on the inside. And one of my irrational fears is that I will one day cut into an avocado and it will be filled with spiders. But feel free to use the imagery if you want to.
Wow, avocado X cards. That would be a first.
Anyways, we know that if you cut open an avocado in a world where the avocado god is dominant, the avocado would be filled with garlic, possibly some cilantro, and it would just be a guacamole fruit.
That is amazing.
Avocado apotheosis.
Fantastic. All right. Maybe it just maybe instead it gets filled with toast. Fantastic. So I believe that is all 3 for Yard and 1 influence for everyone.
Yeah.
Knowledge is a gateway.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Yep.
I went to the Hell Nightmare realm to get knowledge. So,
Magic cannot be controlled.
Magic cannot be controlled. I think that's meh for me.
Fantastic. Love is a fleeting shadow.
Yeah, I think there's all that stuff about like abandonment / like the blood god turning on everybody and boiling them. Yeah, I think we hit that.
So, does anyone want to trigger an interlude? I mean, the sad thing is, because you folks haven't been doing conflicts, you aren't getting that much harm. You've been like, yeah, well, let the blood god win. It's fine.
It's okay. We're pretty close to being able to like move those poles, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. To the conceptual plane of blood. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I can change a belief.
Oh god,
I got 16 influence. So
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, he'd probably come in handy a bit now. Wine, wine everywhere. You're now baby Bacchus.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'm at 4 harm, so could I?
You're at 4 harm.
Yeah. Well, I started. I think at 3. That's why.
You should only have started. You should have started at 0. So you should be at, like 1 harm.
Okay, I should have 1 harm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the leftover from the previous game.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So maybe.
I mean, this is totally fine if we just do another scene. And
yeah, like let's go. Let's keep moving.
How have we only had 1 conflict? You folks are far too willing to go along with the blood cult. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna start some conflicts here.
Excellent. Let's do another scene. Everyone, roll your smoke.
I feel so weird playing in a game where it's like you guys shouldn't be going for the blood cult.
All right. So looks like we've got 5, 3, and 5, 4, 3. So Yard followed by Jason, followed by 10AL. So what do you want, Yard?
The tilt.
Fantastic. I will take the platform. And that means that the question goes over to 10AL. All right. So I think. Let me just look at the NPCs here. We've got. Okay. So this is going to take place in the stacks, a section of the hive that is made of these towering tenement hovels, usually about 4 or 5 stories tall, with wooden railings. The stacks periodically light on fire. And they are on fire right now. The only difference is that because the plane of fire is connected, it's not doing that much damage. But they're a rickety sort of warren of apartment complexes. And this scene is taking place in the den that Kagra normally calls home. With Kagra's siblings, and Isha, and at least Tanael. And I'd like to say not Kagra. By the way, fun fact, you can play NPCs in scenes. Any NPC who shares a power, heritage, or faction with you. So I figure that gives Lauren plenty of bestial family to play. All right, Tilt.
Hmm. So I think we're seeing yeah. Everybody's dealing with this river of blood that's like starting to just flood every street. Everywhere you're walking, there's just like blood like sticking under your boots and coming up over your sandals. And I think because it's a little dreamlike, maybe people aren't too concerned about it. But yeah, it's boiling.
I mean, to be fair, this kind of shit happens in SIG.
Right. Yeah. So we're all dealing with that.
Fantastic. What's the question?
Word.
Oh, by the way, it's been about a month since the baby's arrival.
Okay. I would say kind of split between either who benefits from the baby being in SIG as opposed to elsewhere, and or kind of like who benefits from the destruction that the baby causes.
Yep.
Can you repeat the question, please?
So it's either who benefits from, I guess they're kind of combined. I guess so. Who benefits from the baby being in SIG and causing such destruction? Does that sound good for people?
Yep. All right. So, Isha's sending. So, who wants to be in the scene? I think we have a yes. We want Tanael here, and we don't want Kagra. But what about the other two?
So is it correct that we can introduce an NPC
Yep.
as long as they fit within that either family or faction.
Family, faction, or power.
Okay.
I might like introduce an NPC at some point if I feel the need to stick my nose in.
Sounds good.
I'll sit back for a little bit.
All right. How about you? Go.
Can I play the blood?
Sure.
Not the
Okay.
baby, the blood.
Just the blood, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
Awesome.
Yep. Thank you very much for coming. Isha is perched on a chair.
Of course, of course. Is the child here?
No. We're worried about Kagra.
Tell me more.
She's been acting really weird. I think this is like
Yep.
this is probably like a 12-year-old, like
Okay.
who's probably wearing like baggy or like a second hand. Like this is probably like clothing that Kagura like or like an older sibling wore passed down kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
think like has obviously very scrappy, like has a couple of like scars and like a torn ear kind of like already because it's getting into like all the trouble kind of thing. And like
So, yeah, what kind of animal hybrid? Because I was thinking Minotaur.
oh, well, yeah, that's so cute. Yeah, little 12-year-old Minotaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
There are like jars of blood on the counter as evidence of Kagra's strange behavior. Sealed like mason jars of blood, and it's got like days of the week marked on it.
I think when one just like side note for my character, I think they dress very well and keep themselves very clean, and I think you kind of see them like looking at their boots and being kind of, they want to clean them off. Like they've been walking through the blood and stuff like that, and they're kind of looking down periodically, being frustrated with that. But just a little side note.
Look, she's barely talking. I mean, okay, she was always barely talking. Look, she's not eating. And I think she's got a bit of a drinking problem now. Like, that much blood is not healthy.
And then
You
it's
need
like
some...
we cut under the counter, and there's like an extra row of jars of blood.
Yeah. No, there's all of the empties.
Yes.
So we're worried about her. She's been acting strange ever since that demon godling arrived, and I mean, we can't even... We lost... bad things happened when Uncle Isaiah insulted the godling in front of Kagra.
These are bad things that Kagra did, or bad things that the Godling did?
I think they're the same thing at this point.
Plus, she's spending a lot of time with this person, Frog. Like an unhealthy amount of time with this person, Frog.
Frog, you say?
Yeah, we're... Could you do something like retrieve her somehow, or I don't know, kill a god or something? I mean, you're good at this kind of thing, right?
Think I think that could be arranged, but You would have to pay me.
We know. Look,
And remember, this is not me who wants this payment. This is purely, I cannot just do this willy-nilly. I have to do this as a member, of the guild. I can't just do this as a friend.
Yes, yeah, we understand. One okay, so folks can X card this. Isha looks at you. I'll give you a night.
It is appreciated, but I think I would
2 nights. Three. It's all we have. We can barely keep meat on the table now that Kagra's off. We just want her back. Please.
I will allow you to make this deal on her behalf.
For clarity, just confirming what I think you're just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent. Kagra, feel free to X card this.
Feel free to X card that.
This is.
I mean, Lauren's on board with this. I'm always on board for this.
Okay.
And I think they kind of I think they just kind of like pull something out of a satchel and kind of quickly kind of make it up and
Yep.
let them sign it.
Yep. Yeah.
What else have you seen when the child is here?
She never seems to be letting go of the bloody thing.
And lots of Kaga hates singing, but there's been a lot of deep, throaty ritual chanting going on around here.
Hmm.
And I love you, Isha, but her voice and your voice, ugh. It like puts hands over her horns.
Yeah. Everyone's a critic. Look, I don't talk about your navigational skills or lack thereof.
Gosh. I told you to bring that up. It's very embarrassing.
Look. It's... Yeah. She's possessive. She's not acting like herself. She's ignoring us.
I can't get the bloodstains out of the bath.
It's more blood than bath at this point.
Blood starts boiling out of the bath drain.
like, enough is enough. If we just need something done here.
Yes. I feel just a timeout. What can this scene move to different venue, or does everything have to happen here and with these characters, etc.?
Typically, it would just be here with these characters, but there's flexibility, so let's just move the actual physical location of the scene as appropriate.
Okay, I'm just
so reminder on the question of the scene is
who benefits by the child being in SIG and causing destruction?
Okay, so yes, then moving the scene would make sense.
Yeah, because I feel we have limited info here.
Yeah,
we've also answered the question.
Do you feel so?
Well, somewhat. What, the child?
Well, to nail benefits.
Oh,
from destruction there.
Oh wow! Wow, that's wow.
That's terrible. I love
That's well played, sir.
Oh, that's
that
terrible.
Is terrible and well played. I can agree with that. That is icktastic, but totally legit.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's finish that off. Take a quick look at beliefs. And laws are absolute.
Yeah, I think we hit that.
I think we got that. So everyone gets an influence. Also, we need to have disagreements. You are being collectively too tolerant and accepting of the apocalypse.
Just because we all are fine with everything burning and going to hell?
Pretty much.
Let me tell you, my character is not fine with any of this. It wasn't that scene.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you'd probably have some issues in that scene.
So politics are cruel. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You get that. Everyone gets an influence.
Yep.
And you reset. And I think that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. Don't I get magic cannot be controlled?
Yeah.
Blood boiling everywhere.
I was hoping so.
Okay, you can get that.
All right, so I get to reset.
Oh, so does that mean everybody gets one then, or no?
Yeah.
I'm maxed out on influence. I can't have any more.
Oh God.
Influence glut.
All right. So let's just do another scene, and everyone roll. Sorry, unless someone wants to do an interlude.
I'll do one.
Okay. Because why not?
Yeah. Well, because can I clear my one harm now?
If you do an interlude, yes.
Yeah.
So who do you want an interlude with?
I think this is an interlude. I'll just take a quick look at the NPCs, but I think I'm pretty clear on what this is going to be.
Are interludes always with NPCs?
No, they can be with PCs as well.
An interlude with Kagra might be good.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything to say to Kagra.
Get some conflict started.
We have nothing to talk about. Conversation is over before it starts.
All I did was steal your person.
Yeah, so I think this is me by myself. It's an interlude by myself.
Okay.
And I am in my shadowy room by myself. There's like a black candle lit, and I am just like singing a lover's lament to myself slowly under my breath. And like, just, I mean, I think it's probably like I'm, oh, I think there's like a dagger that I got from, oh dear, my NPC, Farog. This is a dagger I got from Farog in the past, and I'm just like turning it over in my hands and looking at it. Yeah.
Exciting.
I'll do another brief solo interlude.
Get.
We see Yard back on God Street, and there's like this huge temple that's just like blood is coming, like pouring out of the windows, right? And Yard is like going, like just running up and down the street looking for somebody, anybody who wants to go to a different church. He's like, the church of eating utensils could really use. Oh, your eyes are blood red. Okay. Oh, and just like going like to person desperately, and no one is interested in anything but the source.
Fantastic.
I have a quick like rules question.
Yep.
How can I bring to bear my revolutionary cells full of well-read wizards and anarchists?
You spend an influence.
Okay, I'm definitely bringing that shit in there.
All right. So let's roll. And I really hope I roll well, because I've got an idea that I think might be a good outcome. Okay, fantastic. I'll take the platform.
I will take the question.
Okay, and Tanel gets the tilt. So, it is 3 months later, and Tanael is standing over the still corpse of the blood god. Blood is everywhere. Dozens of bodies surrounding them, and Kagra is there, just waking up out of the trance. Jard and Jakath are also there. Everyone's clearly been through the epic battle of good against evil. Clearly that has just happened, and it is done. Many people died in the process, and it was bad and messy. Okay, that is the platform.
And remind me again what the tilt should be.
Destabilizing incident that is mean that you have a scene and have things to do and interact.
Because the platform hasn't already handled that. I mean, I think, I don't know if this falls into it or not, but I think we see kind of, if we roll back the tape a little bit, I think we see Kagra just like powerless to prevent me from doing what I was doing, and like weeping and crying and trying to stop me from doing so.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I would see there.
You probably have some claw marks then, because I've got some mean fucking claws.
Sure.
Fantastic. And the question?
I think the question is, how quickly can love be forgotten?
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. So there's about 4 or 5 other cultists who were fighting you and are now just weeping. And they start weeping blood, and then they weep tears of water, and as their eyes clear. What do you do, Kagra?
Yeah, well, I think like to add to that, I think I kind of dig it because this is kind of like in my mind when you go out for like drinking and you're like, how did I get this weird tattoo? So I think like Kagura probably has a lot of like twisty, organic, like scarified tattoos, like
Yeah.
like all over her forearms and probably like probably all over her body.
Yeah.
So I think like she is likewise was crying like dark blood, right? Like sort of
Yeah.
from these dark eyes, and when that clears, it sort of runs with like sort of salty wet tears, all down her scarified face. And like you see that moment where it lifts, right? And then she kind of marvels at like, what the fuck? Like, and I think that's what she's doing right now. It's coming out of it.
And I think we see I think we see Tennille very calmly kind of like sheathing their sword and taking out some sort of towel and kind of wiping themselves off and like wiping their shoes off and stuff like that. And then taking out another one and walking over to you and starting to just kind of like remove all of the blood off of you. And I think I forget, were there kind of like were there cauldrons of blood here as well?
Oh,
Or yeah.
And
So
they're all
I'm
on fire.
Blood pools over there. It's boiling.
Well, is it still blood now?
So it's blood, but it's boiling away. So now there's this acrid smoke
Sticky.
that's coming off of it.
When you go to like wipe the blood off of like Kagura, I think she. Ooh, where did I scratch you? Like on the. Yeah. When you.
I'm open to wherever. You tell me.
Mean, well, if you're okay with it, I totally see some like on your face potentially. Like,
Sure.
I think like Kagura knows like her own like claw marks, and then I think like she remembers that moment of when she like attacked you, but it doesn't feel like it was her. And I think she like we get that mirror of her likewise putting her cheek against yours, and you're like, oh my god.
Her hand on my cheek, or
her hand on her cheek. Yeah, sorry, words were hard.
By the way, there's ice crystals inside the claw marks where there would be blood.
Yeah.
Turns out Polari don't have blood in them. They just have ice. That's the reason why you could take down the blood god.
No control over me.
I think Kagura even says that like I think she blurts out that she misses you or she missed you.
And they kneel down and kind of caress your face as well and say that they missed you as well. And that they look forward to getting the rest of this blood and muck off of you. Does anyone else come into the scene?
Yeah, we're just gonna
like slow pan to Yard, like clutching his staff, like like clearly having gone through an ordeal.
I think that Jakath, probably, it's like all we see of Jakath at the moment is the dagger floating in the air, and the rest of him is concealed by the invisibility cloak.
Well, that was something, wasn't it, Jakath?
And I appear, and I say, yes, well, it's long overdue.
Does that answer your question?
Does it answer yours? My question was answered a good long while ago. I achieved knowledge, not mere skepticism.
So I think like Yard just like sighs heavily and starts to like walk away, and one of these like newly awakened cultists like tugs on my robe, says, "Brother, brother, I'm so lost. Now, where can I turn? Who should I turn to?" And I just brush them off and say, "Figure it out for yourself."
And I let out a laugh. Ha!
One of the other poor cultists comes over. Come join me. The household god of cutlery will care for us. All out of spoons, just knives left.
Oh, great! Now, season 2.
And I cut to the knife in my hand, which I drop to the ground.
And I think I hear that that clang, and I think I look back, and I think I say, "I'd wondering where that went," and I think we just kind of like see it kind of like fly into my hand, basically.
Yep. So, is anyone ever actually going to tell Kagura about her new obligations as part of that contract?
Sure, I will. I walk over to the pair of them and I say, Kagra, as a matter of course, I must inform you there is something you don't know about this situation.
I think she knows everything she needs to know.
I beg to differ. You see, your family, out of, I am sure, love for you, yes. That must
Are
have
you
been it.
certain you need to say this?
It is my duty to provide information and research.
The question was not asked of you.
And yet the information must be provided.
So you say. How is it that you came to have my dagger?
Well, you should ask your guildmate about that.
May I propose a conflict between you two on the verbal sparring on does this go out?
Yes, you may.
Fantastic. Why don't you conflict?
How does this work?
You roll spark. What do you want? It sounds like one of you wants this information to go out, and the other one does not want this information to go out in this context.
That sounds about right.
Yep. I think I only have one thing, scholar.
Okay.
Let's see here. I guess to a certain extent, I don't know. I'm wondering whether the light is here because I'm trying to kind of like, because I'm doing the flip, I'm trying to cover something up, but I'm uncertain about that.
No, you would get a bonus for revealing things.
Yeah. Politics?
Yep.
Okay. Oops, I need to do that. There we go. I think that's about it. I don't think faction treaties comes into this.
Okay. Sounds good. So why don't you roll?
With Spark?
Yep. All right. So, another rule that I haven't had to tell you because you haven't had conflicts, curse you, is that you can also increase your roll by taking a point of harm for a +3.
You can choose to tie this up.
I will tie it up.
Because double or nothing is fun.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So now the question is, what's the additional
Yep.
outcome?
Yep.
Who starts?
Either one.
Okay. I think. What do I want additionally? That's tough. I know what I want primarily. What do I want additionally?
Well, I think there is Kagra's, like, there's a lot of social currency with Kagra.
Mm-hmm.
There's also my where's the name? NPCs, where are you? Frog.
Yep.
I killed that fucker.
You killed that fucker? Right. That's why you have the knife. All right.
Okay.
I think yeah, so I don't know, I could negotiate this with Lauren. Like, does it make sense for me to get some kind of benefit for having revealed this information?
Whoa.
I stopped keeping track of like the consent issues so long ago.
This is just bad. Just so bad.
Oh god, this is just gonna be so terrible.
I don't know. It's rough because I guess we haven't established any relationship between our characters apart from I told you to fight me.
Yeah, I think we're not close.
Yeah. So let me see my beliefs. That's a good thing to do, right? Oh.
You do have the belief words never solve problems.
Yeah, I did see that one. And you're using words to solve problems.
I mean, I could see a level of trust when someone's being honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I can refute that belief.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We got two things.
Wait.
Now, what else do I want? I'm open to suggestions while I think, though.
Alternatively, if this is a stretch on both parties, how about we just say that you also spend an influence and you win?
Me? Yeah.
Well, like who you can spend influence to just get bonuses on this. So right now you're tied.
Who has the most influence at this point in time?
I'm at 20.
Oh, then it's you. I'm only at 14. All right,
Yeah.
sure.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. So just like brute force win.
Yeah. Let's see what this looks like.
I'll spend the influence. Yeah.
Fantastic. Sure. Sounds good.
So yeah, so I think this is like me saying, look, assassin, whatever you think about the matter, you've made the contract. It's a matter of public record, and it deserves to be stated. So, listen to me. Kagra, you understand that you are under the thrall of that godling, yes?
Yes, you don't need to patronize me.
Well, I am establishing premises.
Yes, indeed. I was under the spell of what I considered to be family.
Yes, well, your perhaps mundanely related family made a bargain with this assassin to eliminate the godling and thus to be reunited with you.
I think like look over to Nail, like arch an eyebrow.
Don't you have any questions?
I think he just shrugs. They, excuse me.
And then I think like at the shrug, like Kagura like swings another like look back to Jakath. And I think okay, this is weird. No, I think she like actually looks back at Tanail and smiles like the tiniest bit, so you get like a bit of like sort of feral tooth, and it's like, Tanail, if you had a crush on me, all you had to do was like say, you didn't need to like go through this convoluted bureaucratic route to like say you liked me. It's okay to have feelings, you know. You can rely.
Words like that come difficultly to I and my type.
I think like Kagura like smacks at you and like we probably get another shot of like her hand going up to like where you've got like the ice like scars and like storks them.
Nice.
And I go and I grab you and I say, aren't you concerned about your family? Think about what they did to you.
Because if I have learned nothing today, it's that family will manipulate you, and family will lie to you, and family will make you harvest blood for them to sustain them. I'm done with family.
So, parting shot. Yard's walking down the street, pulls out his priest collar or whatever, and comes up to the courier stand. And the courier there, like, maybe is like trying to like scrub off all this blood that was covering their letters for whatever reason. And he starts to write down a letter. He says, "Dear Mom, you won't believe what's happened to me."
Fantastic. So who has 15 influence?
If we count the ones that we do now, I probably would end up with that much.
I do. I think.
Or did you have to spend 15 to win?
Yeah.
So, okay, more precisely, we've got 9 minutes before hard stop. So, who's most excited to do a moment of reflection and change their belief? If folks are fine with that,
go for it.
Okay, go for it. So, you get to have a scene with someone else. You pick someone else.
That helps me reflect.
Yep.
Who is the like most non-theistic amongst us? Okay, cool. Let's do it with Tanael.
Fantastic. So you get to create the scene.
So I just do the whole thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I think sometime later, right? Probably like at like the anchor plane has changed, so everything's now like water or ice or something like that. Maybe ice is the best. So we're sitting in like an icy like ski chalet sort of place, and we're both just sipping like tea and sort of contemplating the nature of things. Yeah, and I want to talk about uh, raising children. So maybe uh, Kagra and Tanael have a child at this point. Can we
Okay.
establish that?
Sure.
Happy with that.
You remember that old debacle with the blood god?
You might say that.
It had me thinking, how much of what that blood god did, how much of that do we do to our own children? We teach them the way of the world. We tell them what to do. We ask them to care for us, to worship us, perhaps. I mean, some to a more or less degree than others. I've been taking a bit of a sabbatical, as you may well know, and I'm concerned that if I go back to my priestly duties, that perhaps I'm no better than that curdled blood godling.
Is this a question of who is using who?
Perhaps indeed. Are you suggesting that my leading of others to a certain path is truly me trying to lead myself on my own path?
I think that's only a question that you can answer. But I might also ask whether or not you're leading the others is for your God or for yourself.
And hey, man, we're all blood here.
You know, Tanael, I think you'd make a good priest.
So, which of the happy parents are holding their Yeti baby?
Yeti baby.
Half Polari, half feral Yeti baby.
It's so cute.
I feel like Tanael is probably the less touchy. So
Actually,
probably not.
It's a good parallel too of like Kagura like
Yeah.
holding this toddler. Yeah, totally. That
Yeah.
callback.
So I think I would change my belief to going from there is a God for everything to you are your own God.
Excellent. And with that, the fires go out. And the city ices over. The streets themselves reshape into a snowflake pattern. And this biting cold just goes through the entire city.
That's delicious.
And the Yeti baby gets to play in the snow for the first time.
Oh, yes.
And it's just so adorable, it hurts.
Oh, I love that. That is so cute.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
That was a ride.
Seriously.
Also, thank you very much, Lauren, specifically for pivoting that icky contract into something like romantic.
Oh,
But
Like
also,
that was
but also
that-
deeply disturbing in like in the pivot.
like
good. Nice. Yeah, I had that in my head. I like when the contract was made, I was like, it's totally fine because like Kagura, of course, had a crush this whole time on
oh yeah.
on Danelle, and I was so happy when it came out. And yeah, the disturbingly like it was good. I ended up being very happy with that pivot. It was nice.
Oh yeah, that was very well done.
I felt like it was either going to be that or vaguely Stockholm syndrome me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way, or maybe it's the same thing.
And then we got a cute Yeti Polaris baby out of it. I love all that.
True enough.
Yes, so does anyone have any last comments, questions, things that they need to get off their chest before we let folks go?
You're all fantastic players, Jason. I love this game even more. I'm happy.
Damn fine game, sir.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure playing with you, and we need to do it again.
Yes. I'll see you in November for
Yes.
Yep.
for some horror.
Have a good one, and we'll stop the broadcast now.